My entire life, I've had two main objectives that I've set out to achieve. Bucket list items, if you will, things I want to get done before they put me in the dirt. The first one is to be the head of social media at a B2B SaaS prospecting company. And the second one is to be a movie star. Now, as you can probably tell, I've already achieved one of these goals. I'm at the top of the mountain. I've made it. However, the other goal has remained very evasive. I have not been able to make it to the big screen. But today, that is going to change. And I know what you're thinking, Patrick, it's impossible. You've gone too corporate. You've gone too white collar. There's no way you're going to be able to flip the script and end up on the big screen in the starry flashing lights. And to that, I say have faith and have no fear, because Clay is here. I've given myself quite the challenge today. And that challenge is using Clay to find, customize outreach to, and eventually contact hundreds of movie producers, asking them if I can be a small part in their next film. I'm not expecting them to cast me as the lead, but I'm thinking that if my offer is enticing enough, they'll at least put me in there as an extra position and kickstart my inevitably successful acting career. I haven't started a single part of this challenge yet, so I have to preface it by saying I have absolutely no idea if it's going to work, but I think the best chance of it working is by using Clay to do mass outreach at scale. And so that is what I'm going to try to do today. And hopefully one of these producers sees something in me, demonstrates some charity, and I can end up in their movie. So I'll wait about a week or so and see if anybody ends up responding to me, hopefully with a yes. Regardless of whether this challenge or experiment is successful or not, I hope you learned something about Clay from this video, because that is, in fact, my job. Please drop a like and subscribe so my boss doesn't get mad at me for making ridiculous videos like this. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So I wanted to make sure that all the film production companies that I were reaching out to were somewhat notable and actually made movies. And luckily, I found this Wikipedia page with a list of film production companies. And so you're thinking now, how do I put this into a spreadsheet easily? Very simple. All you got to do is use the Clay Chrome extension, and you'll see in a second how I can programmatically scrape this list and import it into a Clay table. So first step is click Add Data for Page and select List, and I'm going to select two distinct items from that list, and you'll see that they've been identified. Next, all I have to do is add something like this. As you can see, I just clicked on the company name, and it showed up right here. I'm going to call this name. Suddenly, we have 456 rows of name, right? So I'm going to quickly pause this and do this with all of the items in this list and import it into a Clay table, and I'll get back to you when I'm done with that. So I've scraped everything in the list now, and all I have to do is add it to the workspace. And it will populate right here in this table in just a second. Boom. So there we go. The next step is an important one. Unfortunately, Clay will not fly me out to another country to feature in a movie. So what I'm going to have to do is filter out for companies that are located in the United States. And so all I got to do is click Filter, Country, and I'll put equal to United States. And that should give me a list. And let's see how many. We still have 160 rows. Perfect. We still got a lot of film production companies to work with here. Awesome. Next is that I noticed that some of the companies in this list are defunct. And obviously, defunct film companies are not going to feature me in their movies because they're not making any movies. So I've got to filter out for that. So I'm going to add another filter right here. And all I'm going to do is put notes. And I'm going to say contains and defunct. Oh, we're going to do does not contain defunct. Boom. Okay, now we've got 145 rows, knocked out 15 of them that were not existent anymore. All right, on to the next step. All right, so we have this list of movie production companies, but we don't have any way of finding information about them. Really, all we have is a list of names, countries, headquarters, notes, but nothing that's really going to help us out in finding information about the people that work there or allow us to contact them. So what do we do next? What I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here and add a new enrichment. And after that, I'm going to put search Google. And what we're going to be looking for is the company's LinkedIn profile link. Because within Clay, a lot of the integrations require a LinkedIn profile. It's a piece of data that will be very valuable to us later in this process. So I'm going to click Search Google, and I'm going to click / right here, press name, and then just put in LinkedIn after that. And we're going to limit the number of results to 1 and hope it works, and run the integration. I'll get back to you when this is finished loading. Sweet. And just like that, we have the results from our Google integration. If you click right here, you can see LinkedIn, 40 acres and a mule, American Zoetrope. You click on it right here, American Zoetrope LinkedIn. So we've got it perfectly. These are the exact results we were looking for. The next step is going to be finding the decision makers that will allow us to get into these movies. All right, so we have our table right here with all of our film production companies in it and their LinkedIn link, as I mentioned before. Now that we have all these companies, we need to create another table that are going to map out the employees of each of these companies so we can reach out to them. So what we're going to do next is go to New Table, People, find people from LinkedIn, and continue. And you'll see this little Companies tab up here. What I'm going to do is select the clay table that I'd like to scrape from, which is the film production companies table that we just created. And we're going to take this link column, which is just the company's LinkedIn URL, and then we're going to keep this the same. Next, we're going to go to job title. And since we want to find producers in the space, we're just going to type in producer right here. And this should find every producer that works for all these companies as long as it doesn't exceed 2,500 people. So I'll wait for these to load and get back to you. And oh my gosh, there are 2,500 people with the job title producer that work for these companies. I guess they are big companies. I shouldn't be that surprised, but nonetheless, wow. So we're going to import them and we're going to get started on enriching them. All right, so we have this list now of 2,382 producers from these studios that we scraped. We had 2,500, but I added 2 filters on here just to exclude the words game and music to make sure we were looking for people who are actually creating films of some kind, or at least a TV show. I'm not picky at this point. And because of the beautiful data imported through Clay, I have enough to be able to find their work emails. So what I'm going to do next, click plus here, add enrichment, and I'm going to navigate to the little waterfall tab right here for Clay, go to work email, and then you'll see right here we have a few different data providers. What this waterfall feature allows you to do is use several different data providers at once to try to find their emails. So if this one doesn't find their email, it'll go to this one, and et cetera, et cetera. It just has a higher data accuracy than using just one. And so I'm going to pick the 4 that I generally go with, which is these 4. Prospeo seems to be the highest accuracy data provider, so I put that first. And we will throw their full name, we will throw their company domain, and we will throw their LinkedIn profile in these respective boxes. And it's already provided for us right here. And we'll make sure to validate it. And I'm going to run these first 10 rows and make sure that the integration works, and I'll get back to you from there. All right, so I've run the first 20 rows, and as you can see, we have quite a few emails here. Now I'm going to spend a lot of Clay credits and run it for all 2,500 rows. So I am going to do that and get back to you when it is finished. Alrighty, and the integration has finished running a lot quicker than I thought it would, honestly, and we are now going to see just how many work emails we have. So all we have to do is put this filter on right here, and we have 630 validated emails. Wow. So now that we have the emails of all of these producers, we are going to write out a few different outreach prompts, test them out, and start emailing these producers that hopefully will get me in a movie. Okay, so I have written a quick email copy here. If you read through, which I will do in a second, it's really not complicated. You can do a lot with Instantly. You can add A/B testing. You can have different steps. You can do a lot of crazy stuff, and especially in Clay with the personalization tools that they have, you can do a lot of personalization stuff there too. But you know what? Sometimes simplicity is the best solution, and that's what I decided to do here. So this is what I said. Hey, first name, my name is Patrick. You don't know me. I'd like to be an extra in one of your projects. I can literally just be standing as a blurred figure in the background for all I care. I don't need to be paid or have my travel covered. Just want to do it for the vibes. Any chance I can hop in a scene of whatever you're working on. Patrick Spychowski. And then I put my Instagram, so hopefully they look at it and think I'm not a complete weirdo. And that's it. As you can see, I have all of the leads right here. All I have is their email and their first name. I kept it pretty simple there. And other than that, I'm just going to plug in my sending email domains and just start running the campaign. So ideally, in about a week or two, I will be back here recording the final part of this video and letting you know if anybody responded. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It has been a week. I am back to share the results with you, and unfortunately, they are not good. I was not able to convince anybody to put me in their movie. A couple reasons I think this happened. The first one being that a lot of the studios I reached out to have highly sensitive spam filters, so most of my emails went to spam immediately, just because anything that doesn't look like it's from another major studio likely goes straight to trash. And the second reason is because my emails were not very personalized whatsoever. Yeah, in reality, I could have probably tried harder. Clay has so many personalization possibilities, and I kind of just ignored them and decided to go for it. But you know what? Sometimes you got to take chances like that. Not always going to work out. And if anything, it kind of shows the power of personalization in emails because people just don't like to respond to things that don't seem directed specifically towards them. So it's a lesson for me and hopefully you guys as well. Please personalize your emails, put effort into them. It likely won't work out if you don't do so. However, because of these disappointing results, I don't want you guys to leave this empty-handed. Just because I didn't get in the movie, it doesn't mean there shouldn't be benefit for people watching this video. So if you go to the Clay LinkedIn and comment on our recent post, the word YouTube, I will make lead lists custom to your ICP for the first 10 people to do so. Completely free of charge. I will get a list of companies that you can then enrich using Clay and reach out to yourself. So hopefully that is enticing enough for you guys to take action, and I wanted to reward the people who watched the entire video regardless of result. Hopefully you were still able to get some value out of this and had some inspirations for how you could use Clay. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, and happy prospecting.